What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Cast Me Outside with Aaron Scholl. I'm your host, Aaron Scholl. How are we doing today? Today is January 8th, 2025. 2025, guys. Year of the cheeseburger. So cheesy and delicious. Oh, yeah. Wednesday, hump day. Right? Freudian slip. It's like, you just want to talk about sex? It's like, I wonder if anyone ever used hump day to get laid. Someone had to be that smooth. Not impossible. People are people. People are people. I don't know, guys. This might be a tough 30 minutes. Try to get cooking, talking every day. Trying to squeeze water from a rock. Of course, sort of how it is. Went to work like a normal person. Ate food. Back home, posted a ton of crap on the internet. Actually, maybe I should just talk about the rest of my day after I recorded the podcast from yesterday. So the rest of my yesterday. It was good, dude. I was cooking. I sat down and I tried to find some clips in a podcast for the Clips channel. And I think I got them down. I don't love them, but I think that's going to happen a lot. I think that's like the blue collarness of doing something kind of creative is, the blue collarness is, it's not going to be your most proudest creation every time, especially when you're kind of at my skill level, which I would say is a little bit above intermediate. You're not insanely advanced, but I really have been working with this video editing software for 7 years, 8 years. So it's something, and being me, it hasn't been consistently, but it's been, if you zoom out wide enough, it's been consistently. But if you look in really, if you zoom in, it hasn't been consistent. And maybe this podcast is just like a reminder of my goals of the year. Just to be more put together, become self-sufficient, build a business. And the thing that I've lacked is that zoom in consistency. Because right now I only have zoom out consistency, where it's like, oh, here you go, you worked as an editor. Oh, you took this class. Oh, you made these things. Oh, you made those things. Oh, you started posting these types of clips. I was like, oh, and before that you started this page and you edited this video. It's like when you zoom out, it's like all the dots are there to connect, but when but the payoff in reality isn't quite there. So yeah. Got a good day in. Then I went to comedy. Comedy was good, man. We had people. We had people at this mic that never has people. I pull up to this parking lot. Bar right off the highway. There's everything in this bar, by the way. They do poker nights. They do trivia. They do pool, a lot of pool. And then they also have a comedy club. And then they're pretty good at bringing in DJs every weekend after the comedy shows. They just have it packed. There's even a guy who chills and plays the guitar during the summer. I hope he's okay. I think he's turning 70. I should have said, I need to start saying what's up to these people. Brain blast. I was not feeling very social today though, and I just felt it. That's that is masking the, kind of embracing just whatever, the little social interactions, just embrace them and smile, man. You brush your teeth, you got this one kind of funny tooth, but hey, dude, my teeth are pretty nice, minus that one tooth, and it's because I fucking floss and shit. But yeah, I was not feeling, my social battery was very low today. kind of a mundane day. I mean, I didn't feel like anyone was on my back, so, and I felt productive. Definitely tell it's easier to do some of the mundane tasks now that I'm on this supplement regiment. Yeah, and yesterday I had a fucking good set. Just kind of like I uh I went off script a lot and I went on script a lot. I forgot a couple of my jokes, which is really the antithesis of why I'm taking these supplements. I'm taking them to be less forgetful. But I think I was just excited. I don't. But yeah, it sucked. I think I fucking bailed on. I fucking flubbed up 2 jokes, but I got one really big laugh. And back to where we were a moment ago. A comedy club whose parking lot is full, but there's not a single soul in the comedy club because they're all at trivia or playing pool or just having dinner and chilling. Not a single soul in the comedy club, and then boom, when I'm on stage, people just start rolling in, which is good because there's a lot of people who peek into the comedy zone, see the guy on stage, and say, "This is not for me." So whatever, the vibe was good. I feel like I brought the people in. It was all me. I built the building. I did. I paved the parking lot. I felt like it was a really positive moment at an open mic, which open mics can be kind of desolate, can be kind of depressing and barren. So a lot of talk of usually suicide. Usually, if things are dying, people will just say they are going to take their own lives as a shock. Get a shock response. Because any response is better than no response when you're up there dying. And there was times where I felt like I was dying, but yeah, that was good. Good energy, man. I did, like I said in the last episode, I did a little cooking, and then as I was like rushing out the door, because it's always a rush out the door. It's always just like, okay, we're gonna fucking barrel through this door. We're going to get in the car. We're going to momentum our way there. And hopefully, as we're like bouncing around each room, we grab everything we wanted to bring. And as I was packing up, I saw just some chicken that I cooked, that I baked in the oven sitting there. And I thought, I'm going to make a little snack. And this was a huge W. I threw some chicken. I threw an orange. I threw some cheese in there, man. I fucking packed myself a little snack inside a Tupperware, and I sat there and I chomped it, and then I went up and I had a good set. I don't know, it feels weird. It did feel a little weird up there. I've been trying really to look at the audience more, and I need to look at them at certain times. Damn, I wish I could give this guy credit, but there's a guy who reviews, like, up and coming stand up comedians or people who are into comedy and what their set reviewed. And he has a really interesting perspective on comedy. I need to watch more of him. Maybe I'll try and watch some of him tomorrow at work. He's very against being blue, which I'm pretty blue. I can go to like the sex and the penis and the sex and the drug stuff. It's mostly sex. I can go to the sex stuff pretty quick. So I'm pretty blue. So he does not like, comedy that's like that. Or he's like, I think he has some, I don't know. I don't know why I'm talking for this guy. But yeah, he doesn't appreciate blue comedy. And and one of the clips that I did watch of him breaking down the set was like, keeping the connection between the audience, like from the moment you walk on the stage, after you be engaging with them. After you tell a joke, look at them and see their reaction. And that's so funny that I'm adverse to doing that. I'm adverse to looking at the response that I wrote this joke to get. And hopefully Thursday when I go to the next mic, I'll be able to remember that and really take in the punchline, or the 5 seconds after a punchline, because that's what That's what it's all about. It's like, oh, but I feel like I've been doing better eye contact at other parts of my act, and I just feel like I have people's attention. I'm getting some laughs. All the sets have been feeling like I think maybe found like a new baseline of like sort of positive. Like I'm not saying I'm killing, but I'm not I'm not joking about killing myself because I'm dying on stage and I need a reaction. So that's good. Second day on this supplement stack. Feel pretty good. You know what? I didn't have my coffee this morning, and then the coffee machine was being cleaned at work, so I didn't really have my coffee until later. So I'm like on 2 cups of coffee like back to back. Maybe that's a bad thing, but I don't feel like I need it. Maybe I did have brain fog. Maybe I like did have brain fog and I couldn't. It just was normal. And like when you live in the fog, you don't know. You don't see it until you're outside. You don't see the smog in the city until you are in a plane or up above it on a hill looking down, and you can see it go from clear blue sky to mucky, weird haze. So yeah, maybe I'm like finally out of the fog for a little bit. Because I had to chill. I came home. I worked for another like hour on the clips, and then I had like a chill night where I just like did the things I needed to do, and took another cold shower. I mean, it's freezing out there, so I'm still in the baby stages of cold showers where it's like I'm just gonna make it chilly. I'm just gonna make it just a little chilly. Okay, oh, I'm vibing in a little chilly. Maybe I'll get a little chilly more. Maybe I'll do that one more time, but I'm not going too intense. When I was really into cold showers, which I highly recommend, and I think I highly recommend it because it's like an insane dopamine. I think it rivals cocaine. I think it rivals cocaine and it lasts longer. But when I was like into it, I think one December I did like, no, not December. I think one October or November I did like a 2 or 3 week run a cold shower. So by the end of that 3 week run, I was just like getting blasted. But yeah. That's what I'm trying to talk about is the getting blasted, man. When it's so cold and it's just numb, just like your skin just is numb, and it's just like, but it's not like so. But you're like kind of adapted, so it's, it's not like this insane. It's like it's an insane moment, but it's an insane moment you can kind of be in without like flailing around. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah. That makes a little bit more sense to me. The why I liked cold showers. I think it is a little bit like a lack of stimulation, which I didn't realize. Like maybe I just do need it to be like a little more intense to keep my focus. Maybe that's why it's like video games are so easy for me to get hooked on. Yeah. I hit a little cold shower. I did like a little bit of quiet time, and then I woke up like an hour before my alarm. But did I get out of bed? No. I'm not getting out of bed. I'm getting out of bed until 20 minutes before I have to be in the car and leaving. And that is the bane of my existence. Because I was thinking about it. It's like it's so hard on me. Because then, I'm rushing to work and I come into work mad. I'm mad at myself. I'm disappointed at myself. I like am anxious that someone's going to come down on me and say, you're 5 minutes late. And, I can't like gather myself enough, basically. And I start my day in a rush, showing up in a bad mood, not because I'm mad at anybody in particular, but I'm mad at myself for, putting myself in a situation that is like triggering all these negative emotions of getting harped on. Man, when I worked at the liquor store, the one lady always was up my ass for being 2 minutes late. It's like, and and they make you sign a piece of paper. That's so fucking demoralizing. Here, sign this piece of paper that says you were bad or that you came in a minute late. You should be here early and we not pay you. But they were actually really nice to me at the liquor store. That one, I mean, right? You're gonna have people like me are gonna have certain types of bosses or managers that just can find something. Like there's always something. That's something. That's how many times did I say something? That's something that I believe is true, and it speaks to framing, and it speaks to like you shape your reality by looking for certain things, and that's what it is. Whatever you want to find, like you can find. If you want to find a reason to break up with your girlfriend, you'll find a reason. If you want to find a reason to see the bright side in adversity, you'll find the reason. You can find it, like a reason to be grateful even at your lowest moments. And same with managers. If you want to find a reason to harp on an employee, there's something there, right? Show me the man and I'll show you the crime. Or some communist said that, I think. Fucking communists and the evilest quotes ever. Yeah, so I just kind of start off on a bad foot because I'm late. And today I woke up a little bit early and I chose to stay in bed. But so I got to work on time, but that doesn't mean I wasn't stressed. About showing to work barely on time. There was another branch of the conversation I'm having with myself or with you that I swang right by it, and I'm trying to get it back right now. I don't know if I can. Oh, I started listening to an audiobook called Nudge. And I used to love these nonfiction books. And Nudge is a nonfiction book about, what's the phrase they use it? Decision architect? Choice architect? How to let people make the decision you want. And it's so interesting. Actually, it's not so interesting. I'm kind of like realizing why I stopped listening to nonfiction or reading nonfiction. Just, a lot of the stories, they have little stories, little experiments to prove their point. And a lot of these nonfiction kind of pop psychology, they use the same study or the same story to prove their point. And I had a moment where I was like, did I listen to this book before? Like, did I listen to like the first half of this book and forget? Because they use this story about just people being bad at predicting things. And another book used the same thing. And the story is like you read a biography, you read like a little blurb about this person, like let's call her Cindy. Like Cindy, she's a college student. She likes accounting. She's also really into social justice and likes to like be active or participate in volunteer work on the weekends. And then they say like, what do you think Cindy's gonna do when she grows up? Do you think she's gonna become a banker? Do you think she's gonna become a banker and a feminist? Or do you think she's gonna become like one other thing? And the thing is people assume she's going to be a banker and a feminist more than they assume that she's just going to be a banker. and it's like that's wrong. The odds of one thing happening are always more likely than the odds of that one thing and another thing happening. And it's just, I forget exactly the context of the Nudge book that they use that story, but in the other book, which I can't remember there, it's something about statistics. But the point in the other one is that people are bad at statistics. I think their point in Nudge was about framing things. And it's kind of like, I forget, lowballing. There's a technique in Cialdini's Influence. Like that's like one of the main pop psychology books you should maybe read. Is Influence by Cialdini. It's super popular in the marketing and psychology world. But in Nudge, they were just talking about like frames. Like if you give people like an option to donate 100, 200, 1,000, 5,000, or if you give them an option to donate 25, 50, 75, 100, 150, you'll get more donations, or you'll get higher donations with the list of numbers that suggest more. And that made me think. I felt so bad. I was getting so many scam calls, and I think I'm partially to blame because there was a time where I'd get scam calls and answer and try to have a little bit of fun. I don't know. You always see like people. Not I always see people, but this one time this guy answered a scam call and like got into it with the scammer, which in my mind was a little like, whoa, like just hang up the phone. Like, why are you guys like? And then the scammer like stayed on the phone and exchanged back, just calling each other names. And I was like, okay, well maybe this like I can use this opportunity to be funny. And I had a couple good ones. And one time this lady called me to ask me if I was going to donate for some satellite that was going to monitor methane. And I was just like pulling her leg, and she was like, well, can you donate $10? I was like, well, I can donate $3.50. And she's like, well, I don't know if we can donate about $3.50. Like, and if you guys don't know, $3.50 is a South Park reference. That's what the Loch Ness Monster always wants from Chef's parents. It's a Loch Ness Monster. It's a Loch Ness Monster. I ain't giving the Loch Ness Monster no $3.50. R.I.P. Chef. That's like the weirdest story. So the character Chef got quit. As far as I know, he quit South Park. Iconic character, like quit South Park because South Park they made fun of Scientology, and Isaac Hayes, who is the voice of Chef, is a huge Scientologist, and that's sad. There's a couple deaths. There's a couple changes to South Park. I definitely have nostalgia glasses for the older seasons. But yeah, the methane satellite. And I was like, I forget, I was just being stupid. Yeah, we're going to monitor all the methane, and then we're going to send them a nasty letter saying, you're making too much gas. You're too gassy. You need an antacid. I was like, I don't know, man. I think industries should be responsible for the impact they have. Like that is something I think about. A Coca-Cola, an institution, like a cultural, like rock in our society. But how much trash is out there that has that branding on it? It's like you don't feel a little bit, even though like you sold it, and maybe it is up to the consumer, and maybe I don't know how trash works. Maybe it is up to the consumer to make sure that ends up in a place where we want the trash to be and not in the ocean. But it's your name on the trash, dude. Who is my name? I don't see my name on it. Yeah, is your name Coca-Cola Inc. because it's right here. Is your So I don't know. I think if I had a company and I drove down the city and saw the city was littered with trash with my company's name on it, I'd be like, what do we got to do? Because I think I don't know, some of these companies are so, it's not the trash doesn't say BMW. It's not a luxury brand like Coca Cola. Not good. Delicious, great. Like I love Coca Cola, but it's not like, and it. I don't know. Is Coca Cola good or bad? I don't know. I like it, but it's not this like beacon of health, and uh, can definitely be abused. And it's definitely like for everyone. It's not a luxury brand, like So you have these. I don't want to say they're trashy, but they're not. They don't have like a. Their client base isn't going to stop drinking soda because they saw a soda can in on the side of the road. So maybe they can. Maybe they can. They can litter. But if it was like a fancy ass company littering, that's what Prada should do, or some Balenciaga. They should just litter. Just litter. Take pictures. Take pictures of the clothes the clothes that they littered. Like we littered these, and then we came back 6 months later and collected them, and now we're selling you them for $1,000. Balenciaga, bitchin'. Bitchin'. Yeah, balance, dude. I think that's gonna also be the hardest part. The hardest part. Because it's like, like I was even looking at it, it's like, okay, I might need to either A, make one more clip a week, or B, skip a day on posting. Like do every other day, but have a 2 day, have a weekend too. Just post 3 times a week instead of every other day. Because it feels like I'm already through about 3 weeks worth of content in about a week and a half. So that's probably not going to be sustainable. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about the clips thing because I will have data. I will have these clips that are about certain content, and I can see which one performs better, and I can see which kind of. So if I'm smart, I can like kind of take a bit of a data driven approach, and maybe end up getting better, getting more niche. That's what I was thinking. Like I'm already like 3 channels ahead of myself. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of doing a comedy one, but I can do like a women's one, like with that showcase mostly like women's podcasts, and I can do like a like an inspirational self help podcast that influences that features mostly those shows. So I'm already like, oh yeah, I need fucking 12 more social media accounts to run. So that's me getting too big for my britches, biting off a little more than I can chew. This jawline. All right, let's make weird faces at the camera for a minute. Dude, I looked up a video on how to export timestamps, or basically how to turn your timestamps in your Premiere Pro into timestamps, your markers in Premiere Pro to timestamps in YouTube. And I did that for today's for the episode that I'm posting today. So, and I think the episode that I'm posting today, the best one of the year. I don't know if that'll be reflected. I actually lost a subscriber. since posting this. It's going to be really slow at first and then all at once. It's going to be really slow for a really long time and then all at once. It's gonna snowball effect, man. Exponential, man. The hockey stick graph, man. To the moon, man. And then we fall off. Or we crash out. Right? Does that sound like a plan, guys? All right. I did my 30 minutes. It's been great chatting with you. That's it for today's episode of Cast Me Outside. It's been a lot of fun, but we're done. Gotta run. Thank you this time for your time. Until next time, keep on living and loving. Peace.